does his lecture today for us on Google Classroom.
Good morning, Mr. Gallegos.
I am recording this video, this PLC, and it will be on my YouTube channel if you need to go back to use the steps later on to be able to go to Google Drive or upload links to your YouTube videos, etc.
Okay.
And in the space of having effective classroom norms, what we're going to do is I'm going to mute everyone.
Okay.
And then except for Mr. Pigeon, and he's going to lead us through his journey. Now, I know a lot of times when you have questions, you don't like waiting to the end. I know I don't. So if you have a question, just wave the screen. I'll unmute you. We will stop and we'll let you get your question resolved so that we can move on to the next step, so that you won't necessarily have to have a full lesson again once we get to the end. Does that make sense?
Okay. I was gonna just write down the questions so we can do it at the end, but you know, it is up to everybody.
Sure, perfect. And either way, so we're just waiting on Mr. Pigeon to get back on, and then he's gonna lead us through his little PowerPoint and show us how to log into Google Classroom, etc.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Good morning. Good morning.
Perfect.
What up?
What up? I love your time-lapsed exercise videos that I saw on your social media. It's really cool.
Yeah, I'm going to put up a couple more of those this week for you guys. So I expect you to start doing them today. I want to work out filled out. That's all you guys. That's Ms. Newly. That's all you guys. You guys got to start, you know, getting on these at-home workouts. No excuses. You too, Rios.
Well, you took all the weights from here, man. So how am I going to do that?
No, there's plenty. There's plenty for you. No excuses.
All right. Okay, guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mute everyone except for Mr. Pigeon, and he's going to lead us through our journey this morning.
Okay.
All right, everybody. I'm going to turn off my video so you don't have to like look at me the whole time, but I'm going to keep your video up. So if anyone has a question, just raise your hand or even just enter it in the chat. You can do that by using the more. If you hover over the top and then just open the chat window. If you do that, myself or Mr. Newly or anyone else can answer the questions along the way. So I'm just typing in chat right now. So if anyone wants to use that too to answer questions, we can do that. So that way Mr. Newly or myself can go back. Then we can move a little bit quicker, okay? Because I know everybody has things to do, so we don't want to waste your time. So first thing, if you haven't already, sign into your Gmail account. That's the one that you use your account that you created your YouTube account for or with. And if you're having trouble doing that and this is an issue for you, just follow along and you could do this later. Okay, so you don't have to do it right now. So if you're like, this is going to be a difficult thing for you to do while we're doing this, you don't have to do it. You can do it later. So after that, I want you to go to this website. It's classroom.google.com. And if you'd like, just copy the link in the chat. I've just posted it right there for you. So if you're in the chat, you could just copy and paste it and put it to a link if you'd like. And once you do that, we're going to take a look at this.
Let's go to your administrator and ask them to change that. So let's click on.
So I'm going to have you join or create a class. So what I want you to do actually is to join a class. So just follow these directions to join the class that I'm going to pull up for you, okay, in a moment.
Google what that person is. Now, if a student clicks on teacher, it doesn't matter. You just need to go to your administrator and ask them to change that. So let's click on Teacher, and now we're in Google Classroom. This is your dashboard, and it will show all the classrooms that you've got access to. So the first thing we need to do is join a classroom. So what we need to do is press this plus button. Now,
So I'm pretty sure everyone knows how to do that at this point. So just join the class.
teacher, you will get two options here, to join or to create. But as a student, you will go straight to this screen here, asking you to put in the class code for the class you want them to join. So I'm just going to join a class that I have. So I'm going to...
What I'm going to do right now is give you a class code for a separate class that I have, and I'm pulling that up right now. So the class code should be on the screen. Does everybody see it? So if you want, just, you know, take a picture of your screen so we could move on, or you could just write it down. And I could put it in chat as well. I'll put it in the chat. And I'm sorry if I missed any of the questions. I'm kind of... Okay. So now people should be joining the class at this point. And what I'm doing is just kind of refreshing the page to see if anyone had joined. So I'm going to continue with the video right now. So what I'm going to do next is post a quiz. So the quiz is what I'm going to post up next, and I want to show you how to do that. All right. So once you're in the classroom, just refresh once I get the quiz posted. So last night, this is very similar to what yesterday, what Mr. Rios was doing, what Oscar was doing yesterday. And that was just using, I'm sorry, let me get back to the room. So here I am. So everybody should be seeing the example room right now. What we'll do is go to this, which is classwork, all right? And you'll create. And yesterday, Oscar showed you the quiz assignment, but I'm going to add one that I've created from my Google Drive right here. And this is our example. And what I'd like is for at least one person to do this. That way, and you can see what it turns out, it looks like at the end. And let's see, and then I'm going to assign it. Okay. So now, if you're in the classroom, you'll see that it's also been posted on the stream as well as in classwork. So, does anyone have questions at this point?
Gallegos, do you have a question that you'd like to ask?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, yeah, we're waiting on your question.
Oh, I was talking, but you guys couldn't hear me, I guess.
No.
Anyhow, yesterday I did this. What I'm trying to figure out, Jared, are you saying that we can download like a PDF from Google Drive?
We're going to do that in a little bit. Right now, I'm just going over a quiz.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Right.
So right now, all we're doing is I posted a quiz.
Yeah.
And once you open the quiz, so there's 3 people. If you're looking at my screen, you'd see Oscar, and Ms. Ramirez. So are you taking the quiz? Is anyone taking the quiz?
That's me. I'm logged in as Oscar. I didn't switch accounts, so I'm.
That's okay.
Yeah.
So if anyone could get the quiz done, it's really not like that crazy. I think I might have put the blank quiz in on accident as well.
And then guy goes from, imagine it from this perspective too. So Ms. Ramirez and I and Oscar just logged in as a student would log in. We would go to the classroom, putting in the code. Then it would take us to Pigeon's class, and then we would see that we have a quiz to take on the screen. So that's what's happening right now from the perspective of a student.
Right. So let's keep going. And then that way we could come back. So I posted the quiz, and if someone can take it too, then we could see what it looks like afterwards. But right now, I'm going to post an assignment as well. Okay.
Mr. Pigeon, let me say something.
Go for it.
If you notice, I actually log in with my oscarrios@gmail.com. That's my personal email.
Right.
So I actually open up to the kids with their personal email. They can take the test and join the classes. So now we're good.
Right. For the Canyon State email?
Canyon State or any Google email, any Gmail.
Okay. With this one then I'll just give you an example of posting an assignment. Okay. So let's go back to the room and then into the classwork, create, assignment. I'm adding from my drive now. And I'm going to use English 5-6, weeks 5-6. So this is coming up. Now, right here, this is important. Students can view file. Click this and make a copy for each student. It's really important that you do this because this will give each student their own that they can create and write in on their own. But this would be more of an English assignment, and yours would definitely look different. And they should look different because what works for one class doesn't necessarily work for another class. So like yesterday, Oscar showed us, he was creating a math assignment. I thought that was pretty cool, but it might not necessarily work with this. So what I used, so if you were to open this up and click on the assignment, you'll, sorry, my view is a little bit different because as the course. But if you were to click on the English assignment, you would be able to open this Google document and review the lesson plan. So within the lesson plan too, a student would be able to go in and then just fill out whatever information they need to answer the questions. So right here, I'm having them create a playlist so they could come in and start writing there and turn it in. Now, when you create a an assignment and make a copy for all your students, it's automatically shared with you. So whenever they type in it, you can look at it and view it just as they would be working on it. So that way you can grade it how you see fit. You also have this option right here as far as sharing, and you can change the view. You can change different things that people can do with it, but you don't necessarily want to do all that.
That's great. And you can go directly to your Gmail account and type in the student's name, and you can find the assignment that way too. I'm really excited about using that function.
And that it's very helpful too. I think that it's very helpful. Let's see. So we've posted an assignment now. And what I want to do next is what Mr. Gallegos was talking about earlier, and that's converting a PDF file into a Google document. So what I've done is pulled from a calculus textbook that I haven't converted yet, but we're going to do it right now. So let's get out of this. So you should be, sorry, I'm having a little trouble with the sharing feature. Here we go. So now let's go back to the classroom, which is right here. And I'm going to go into my drive, sorry. And in my drive, I have a PDF file that I pulled up. Where is it? Sorry. Here we go. So this is a PDF I pulled from the internet, and I saved it just by downloading it, like right here, and you download it to your Google Drive. So once it's saved here, the PDF, now there's different ways of doing PDFs. You can use your phone, and Oscar sent out a really good resource for, like, if you have an iPhone, for using notes to scan a document. Otherwise, to create a PDF, another option is if you have a personal scanner at home, that might work as well. So with this, now that I have this calculus assignment, and I wanted to use this just to demonstrate that it might not work out perfectly for math. So we would open it with Google Docs, and what'll happen, it's converting the file from PDF right now into the Word document, but using the Google Docs software.
Awesome.
So you don't need to download anything. You can just use what we have right there. And there's also, I know, another issue with PDFs and sometimes with the Chromebooks too. If you use, I'll show you a website for that too in a minute. But this is still converting, and like as you can see, it takes a little bit of time, but it does work. I've used this for like one thing I sent home this week, and it was about a 15-page document, and it converted it pretty well, but that was just text, and it was from a book. But essentially, it's just taking it like from a picture and putting it into Word. So it's still working on this, as you can see. So let it do its thing. And I'm going to come back here and we'll check back into that. So right now, what we're doing is converting that PDF file. So if you have an iPhone, you can go in Notes and take the picture. So go into your notes, create a note, and then hit the picture button. So Oscar sent this out already. It's in your email. But another website is right here at the bottom. pdfescape.com is free. So if you don't have Adobe Acrobat or like a PDF software, this one works pretty well. It's free. You can get like a paid subscription thing for it, but the free one works pretty well as long as you save it when you're done right away. Does anybody have questions on that one? I'm going to go back right now and check how this file is doing, and it's still converting. So it does take some time. This one is 3 pages. So I didn't do this, and I'm doing it live right now, just so we can see how it works. Did anybody have questions on these? Mr. Thomas has a question.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
What is the classroom code again?
Oh, for this, the example classroom is right here. ILWURJE.
Okay. I tried that code and it didn't work.
Okay. For the example room?
Yeah.
What email are you under?
I'm under the Canyon State one.
That's probably why. Because there's a restriction on it. So if you go under like a regular email, then you'll be able to get in.
All right. Let me switch it.
Let me check the document. It's still going, but this does work. And I know it's kind of making me look goofy right now, but it does work. And just to give you,
do we add our students to this, or do they automatically get added to it?
You would, if you're going, what I was going to say is this, because we have the ones at school, but those are only going to work with the school email. But if you create your own, which is what I was going to say next, then you can do this like on your own. But you would have, if they add it the way that I'm showing you, you don't have to add them. It'll automatically just add them to the class. So this is the easiest way than actually writing every single email in. So if they add it themselves, then this would be the easiest way.
Okay.
Did that answer?
Not really. I mean, who adds them? Is Oscar adding them? Or is it just a database that we're plugging into, or what?
Well, let me show you this next part then. So what you'll need to do now, you have to create your own classes. So if you do not have the Canyon State email, then the Google Classrooms that those ones they have to be, you both have to have the Canyon State Academy email. But if the student doesn't have access to it at home, then they would have to create a private Gmail. So I know that we tend to just get a little boring. So let's have a little break, some comic relief. But seriously, if you're gonna like
Is that you when you were younger?
no, it's my cousin. Mi primo. But the classroom though. We just have
Is that what you're saying? We need to create our own classroom and not deal with the Canyon State one?
Yes.
Okay.
So to do that, we'll do this. So I pulled up a handy dandy video, and I am also going to give you this presentation when we're done, so you can go back and go through the videos that you want and at your own pace as well.
You'll get to our email?
I can email it, and I'll put it in the classroom as well. Yes, sir.
I have a question. Okay, so this classroom that you created, this is under your personal Gmail, right?
Yes.
Okay, so the one for the, for Jared Pigeon at Canyon State Academy, the classroom that I created for you guys, they are actually accepting other Gmail accounts besides the Canyon State Academy account.
Okay.
So you don't need to actually reinvent the wheel. You can just use the classrooms that are at the Canyon State Academy, and you can have the kids actually sign in with their personal Gmail accounts. They don't have to have a Canyon State Academy in order to join your classes. I already opened up the that feature for you guys, so you don't have any issues.
Okay. So we could do it that way too. I'm just like coming up with because some of them have difficulty logging in, and just with the Canyon State, and then also if they're under that email, then they have restrictions as well. So then they're not able to use like.
Okay, but the thing is that now, okay, so this is what we need to do. If you decide to go that route, we shouldn't actually do anything with the Canyon State Academy and just create, you guys create your own accounts. Because if we have two at the same time, it's
Right.
going to be confusing for the teachers and also for the students. So you have to decide which route you want to take before we continue, me uploading things to the classrooms and doing all this stuff.
Right, because then even then, like a lot of permissions would have to be changed and all that too. So that.
It's that's like I think we are at a perfect time to decide if you want to use your own personal Gmail account to create your classrooms and tie it to the to SLA instead of using the Canyon State Academy.
So what are the pros and cons again? I guess I'm confused. Pigeon, I heard you say there's restrictions.
Yes.
If we use the Canyon State Academy classrooms, what are the restrictions and can they be lifted so that we don't have to start over? Because I've already posted a bunch of assignments.
Right. But if you did it that way, it's pretty easy to just make a copy of those assignments and change it to a personal one too.
But is there a way to avoid that step? And what are the restrictions that students have if they are using the Canyon State Academy Google Classroom?
It's just an extra step. So like if they're using it, they would have to log out of their phone or log out of like Gmail or use a different web browser. So say like you post like a YouTube or a certain
sure,
like YouTube's one. A lot of other like video websites, music websites, things like that. Social networking, like the type of tools that you probably would use like within the classroom would be blocked. A lot of them.
I see. And that's only if if they log in also with the Canyon State Academy?
Yes.
Because, 90% of my kids don't have that email address anyway.
Exactly.
They're all using their personal email. So I don't know if I'm going to run into that issue as much as maybe like sophomores and freshmen that all have the Canyon State Academy. Because even my sophomores, I had them all create their personal email accounts because we couldn't do much in the computer lab with the Canyon State Academy email. So
the other issue that I was thinking about, and Oscar, was like the number of licenses as well. Do we have enough for every student in the whole school?
Well, the thing is that, okay, so we have actually 1,000 licenses for Canyon State Academy, right? But because I opened that, okay, it was restricted to just Canyon State Academy users. I actually opened our Canyon State Academy account for other Gmail accounts to join your classrooms. So we don't have actually an issue with the licenses anymore because the students are going to be using their personal email, like Mr. Newley said. He has his kids actually using his personal email, so they can actually join your classes without any restrictions.
Yeah.
But it's up to you guys. Like whatever you want to do, whatever you think is easier for you guys. Sure. I can help you with with the sport. I don't
I mean, if we're all gonna do the Google Classroom with the school, but I'm fine with that. But then the restriction part of it, then that's where I think
if the kids are
you
using,
might run into issues there. That's where I'm thinking. If it works.
Well, the thing is that okay, we are in the test stage, right? So what you can do is actually create a class, create an assignment, join the class with your own personal Gmail to see what are the, what difficult you are actually encountering. So I can actually change the settings and make it work for you guys. So you don't have to, go from one email to another one. Okay, so now you're gonna have one for your YouTube channel, one for the, for the classroom, another one for Canyon State. So, I mean, what we want to do is actually just keep everything in one place instead of, like 3 different places. But, I mean, like I told you, I'm here to help you. And I think what these 2 weeks are for testing to see how it's gonna work, what we need to change, what we need to add. And, that we can actually, do it, see if that, we can actually work it out. But, I mean, like I told you, if you feel more comfortable doing it through your own Gmail account, your personal Gmail account, I can help you in any way that I can.
okay. Well, I guess it's a group decision between our PLC and the other PLC. I feel like I'm going to be okay using what's already been structured and created, not just because I've already uploaded assignments, but I feel like all my students, even if they have a Canyon State Academy org Gmail, I'll just tell them to create their own personal one. I mean, at this point in their lives, they should have their own Gmail anyway. And that's not much of an issue for me. I don't know about, you guys or what, Pigeon, what you want to do, or Thomas or Furtig or anyone else, or Ramirez, Gallegos. But I can manage with what we have here. So that's my vote. So I just unmuted everybody if anyone has a question or a vote.
Well, I'm understanding that there is an issue. Oscar can fix it, can open up that portal or that, whatever computer technology issue he's having, he's able to fix it, and he's already done all this work to give us what we got. I mean, if it's necessary, we change, but if it's not necessary, then why change, is my opinion.
And also, the thing is that if you have problems uploading your packets, you can email them to me. I can go into your classroom, help you guys with uploading the packages. If you're gonna create your own personal email, I cannot actually log into your classroom and do anything because you are the administrator. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's up to you. I mean, you can do it on your own or, whatever. But, I'm here for you to help you guys, to upload, your packets. If you have issues with your assignments, I can actually log into your account and see what's going on and fix it for you. I mean, I know for Mr. Pigeon and Mr. Newley, it's not a big deal because you are very tech savvy. But we have Mr. Connor, we have Mr. Walker. We need to think about those users too. Miss Ekman, Miss Golly. If you're gonna take care of that issue, Mr. Pigeon, and you, Mr. Newley, and be the, like the tech support for the rest of the teachers, that would be, that's good for me, like I'm out of this thing.
No, I think we should stay with what we have. What do you think, Pigeon? I want you to feel content and okay. Yeah. That way if we all have questions, we can solve them together. We're all in the same path that we're following. It eliminates confusion later. I guess that if I have kids that don't have their personal emails, really what I should be doing when I call their parents is tell them, let them know that information. That way we're all in the same space. Yeah.
So just so I'm understanding, we are using our Canyon State emails.
Yeah.
Okay, so how do I go about
Okay.
switching it?
Okay, we are using for the teachers, we're using the Canyon State Academy, which is Shauna at, that Ramirez at Canyon State Academy. But for the students, actually, if you want to call your student, you can tell them, you can use your own personal Gmail account to join my class. So they're not required to have a Canyon State Academy email address in order for them to join your class. They can use their personal email.
Okay,
It's actually better
so
if you don't use that email.
I have set up my classroom with my own personal email, and all of my students that I have added to my class have sent me Gmail accounts. So am I good?
So you're not using the Canyon State Academy, Shauna.Ramirez at CanyonStateAcademy.org to do your classes. So you're not using the email that Oscar set up with their classes already. I see.
No, because I didn't know I was supposed to. And then all of my students are invited through their Gmail. All of my students have a Gmail account, and I've already added them to the classroom.
Okay, so I think what we can do is actually, okay, so whoever wants to use Canyon State Academy Gmail, Canyon State Academy, their classrooms, I can give you support. I cannot give you support on your personal email, on your personal account, because that's not actually, RP won't let me do that. So if you want to continue with your personal email, I mean, it's up to you. I mean, you're good. The only thing that I'm going to tell you is that you need to give that information, your personal Gmail account plus your password, to Jessica and Fowler, because they're going to be actually checking that you put up your lesson plans and all that stuff on your classroom. So you need to actually share your personal information with SLA. That's the only problem.
So how would I go about switching it? Do I have to get rid of this classroom and start over?
I already created yours. I already created your classroom with the Canyon State Academy.
Oh.
Okay, so let me show you. Can I share my thing? Okay, so I'm gonna share my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
So you go to Google, right? Okay, classroom. So this is me. I'm logging as me, right? I'm going to sign out. I'm going to use another account. So if you see, when I log in as me, or if you log in as askarias@gmail.com or rios@gmail.com, so you're going to be in your classroom. So you're going to go to your icon and you're going to say sign out, and you're going to use another account. So this time I'm going to use Shauna.Ramirez at CanyonStateAcademy.com. Password for everyone is welcome123. So here I created your cosmetology, all periods. You go to your cosmetology. You just need to create your, your classroom, create your assignment, upload from your drive or from whatever. Also, if you go here on the 9 dots right here next to your icon, from here you can go to your drive. And on your drive, I share with you guys, all of you guys have this form, which are all the emails from the kids that we have at SLA. So these are all the kids that we have that have Kansas State Academy accounts. If you need to add one with the Kansas State Academy account. So that's on your drive. Okay, like I told you, if you want to use your own personal Gmail account, you need to share that with Ms. Vencel and Mr. Fowler, because they're gonna be coming here and checking that you are actually uploading your work. With the Kansas State Academy, we have a common password for everyone and a common username, which they can use whenever they want to log in to see what's going on. I mean, that's the only issue, that you need to share your personal Gmail account with administrator. So, I mean, if you don't mind doing that, you can keep using your own personal Gmail classroom.
Can I ask you a question, Oscar?
Yeah.
So if we're using Google Classroom, I see the logic in it, but why are we also posting the material to the school's website if we're going to be putting it on to Google Classroom? It seems sort of redundant to me. I didn't understand why.
Because I think what I heard is because it is required by the state to actually have those packets available for kids to download.
Right.
So, before we did this, maybe when we are going like 100% full on Google Classroom, we're not gonna actually be required to do the website upload. But while we are working on the classroom, we are actually required to post the packets online.
Right, I see.
So I think, when we start actually going with the Google Classroom, I think we're going to stop actually posting those things on our website. Because, I mean, our website doesn't take that many hits from kids anyway.
Oh, okay. So you're able to see who's logging on or going to the website?
We don't, I don't think we have that capability to see who logs in or who sees or who downloads. It's just, it's just to cover ourselves from an audit or something like that.
Right.
That we have actually the word posted on our website. So the kids won't say, well, we didn't have any way to get it.
Right.
Yes, you had, we actually had on our website. I posted on our Facebook too, like if you need a packet, go to the website. So it's just to cover the school,
Sure. Okay, well, Mr. Pigeon, is there any other processes that you wanted to show us before we end our meeting today? I know that we had talked about maybe showing teachers how to share a link to their YouTube videos, because I've already done that in my Google Classroom. So I made an assignment where the kids have to go onto the YouTube channel, watch the video, and then I have a response sheet for them to answer questions. I don't even know if that's something any of the other teachers want to do, but it was sort of another check that I was going to try and use to make sure the kids were watching the videos, because I have almost no views. I'm sure it's like that for the rest of you guys, so I don't know.
The only views I have are the ones that I watched it.
Right. Yeah. Or we can save that for next week's PD, our PLC. It seems like everyone's still sort of uploading material and starting out at the basics. So maybe that's something we'll do next week. Okay, so are there any other questions for Mr. Pigeon or Oscar or even myself for today? No? Okay, well, I guess we were able to resolve a couple little small problems. It looks like most of us are going to stay with the Kenya State Academy Google Classroom. I am going to post this video. It will be on my YouTube channel. It'll say something like English, Social Studies, PLC video Tuesday and today's date. So it'll be easy to find if you need to look at it. Yes, sir, Oscar.
Okay, so tomorrow I think we're having another meeting at 10 o'clock in the morning with Ms. Vencel.
Okay.
So what I want you to think about is that what are the pros of having a classroom on your own personal Gmail account, and we don't know, like, so we need to decide which way we're going.
Sure.
So tomorrow you can actually express yourself to see, you know what, I want to do it this way because this is the way it works for me, and da 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 da. So let's see, what everybody thinks.
I like it. That sounds great.
All right.
Okay, guys, thanks for meeting up today. Hope you have a good rest of your day. And we'll see you at the Zoom meeting tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.